Hey, hello, and welcome. This is the Afro Atheist. Once again, welcome to my space, a place where we challenge religion. We take apart the claims of religion, especially Christianity. I'm an ex Christian, and so I walked away from Christianity for good reasons. Too many lies, too many contradictions, too many inconsistencies, and too many fake men of God. And this particular man, he's one of them. Well, he was one of them because he's no longer with us. Guys, TB Joshua, that man was a problem. He was a problem. But his followers, they don't see it. They can't see it. It's so alarming. But never mind. I know how cults work. It will take time for some people to get it. It will take time for the scales to fall off their eyes so they can see that TB Joshua was in fact a predator, was in fact a molester, was in fact a devious charlatan. Now, TB Joshua had disciples. He called the people disciples. Why does TB Joshua need disciples? Any preacher that has disciples, already you should have your guard up. So there is a God up there who wants you to do his bidding, who has called you to work for him. And you now in return recruit people to work for you and call them disciples like Jesus did. So these disciples right now, since the exposing of TB Joshua's cult by the BBC, the 3-part series, these disciples are now on a damage control mission. They're trying to invalidate the claims of the people who spoke up. They're going back, looking in archives and bringing out videos where these people confessed to all different things. But what they fail to realize is they are doing more damage. If I was you, I will stop. I will stop trying to invalidate these victims. You need to stop. The more you are speaking, the more you are going to fetch videos from the past that your cult leader TB Joshua recorded of these people, and now you're using it as weapons. You are using those recorded videos as weapons against his victims. Some of us, we are not blind, neither are we deaf. We can see what is going on, and I'm hoping that this video also would be one of those that exposes and will further prove that TB Joshua was a nasty man. I want you to see this following video. This is one of his disciples who is now a wise man. TB Joshua anointed him as wise man Daniel. And this was 2 years ago. So this isn't even a new thing. This isn't something that he just recently recorded. This is something that he had talked about years ago. Have a look at this video and I'll be back.
You're supposed to be positioned. Okay. I'll come back and meet you. I want you and Harry to wait for me in the prayer room. Look at the language. Wait for me in the prayer room. I will come back and pick you. That was all. We spent 4 days. After first day, he never came. Second day, he never came. Third day, he never came. Fourth day, he appeared. The next thing he said was, apostles, wise men. I looked at myself, wise man? Let's go. I want you to follow me and bless my church. He took us straight into the pool. Wow. You know the mountain? The pool. Very dirty pool. He was naked. We were naked. He did baptism. Wow. After that, I felt something I couldn't express with my words. Entering me at that moment. We went to the church. After praying with him in the church, went to the prayer room in the church. We slept off. Right in my revelation, I saw the Bible.
Guys, did you hear him? Did you hear him? TB Joshua got together a group of men who he wanted to baptize. He took them to his mountain where it's a pool of water, but very dirty water. He tells the men to take their clothes off, and he took his clothes off. Those men were in that water naked for baptism. That's TB Joshua's operators. That was TB Joshua's MO. modus operandi. That's the way he chose to baptize people. The people who are defending TB Joshua, wait, y'all didn't hear that? In fact, what he said before he talked about the baptism, TB Joshua was pitching disciple against disciple. He'll come, anoint some, and make the others feel jealous. And watch to see what your reaction is, whether you're feeling jealous or not. And when he sees that you're not jealous, then he picks you and uses you. TB Joshua was he knew what he was doing. Wiseman Daniel said that TB Joshua told him and some other people to wait. He's coming back to get them. That's to show you the characteristics of a cult leader. Tells his people, wait, I'm coming to come and get you somewhere. In the prayer room. He said, go and wait for me in the prayer room. I'm going to get you somewhere. And they go and wait. Can you imagine waiting for your leader in the prayer room? They waited. Day 1, he didn't show up. Day 2, nowhere to be found. Day 3, day 4, he finally comes back. TB Joshua treated these people like trash. And these men, they can't see a problem with this. You keep people waiting. This is absolutely crazy. And then now you go and baptize men naked? Well, it would have been nice to see some of those videos, all of you naked in the pool. I mean, I would pay money to watch that. I would definitely watch. Now, the second part
is noted word to word his utterances, because that personal conviction I had in me made me to believe that this man could lead me to somewhere where God is. So we started receiving lectures upon lectures, sleepless nights, and every day he's praying. He goes on his knees 4 hours. The knees will be bleeding. I'll be asking myself, you have the power to heal? You are very famous. At least at your level, you are comfortable. What else are you looking for? This man, I could make you spend 4 hours on your knees praying. One day, he took us to the mountain. We're about 6 or 7 of us. So all of you join me at the prayer mountain. We're going to pray on a beach sand on a sunny day. I thought this was a joke. That was my first time of experiencing torture on my knees. When I say torture, I was crying, but nobody could help me. But man of God was smiling.
That was the first time he experienced torture on his knees. Why? TB Joshua calls them to come to the mountain. Guys, following Jesus will bring you pain and suffering. Jesus is not a good leader. You see the whole Jesus industry, it brings pain and torture. The leader tells them, come along with me. 4 hours on your knees. Is this what Jesus wants from his followers now? This man was so evil. There was no need for it. Treating your people in that kind of manner, that is unfair. 4 hours on their knees. The man, he tells you, he describes it, it was torture.
While he was on his knees, so later you know the value of what you are doing. You're on our knees on a very sunny day, hot sun, for hours. While he was in front, the rest wise men, then ordinary men. Ordinary men. I'm talking about Racine, Christopher, John Chi, Harry, and host of other disciples were on their knees. I, for one, I decided to change my prayer points when I was tired. From Lord, have mercy, bless us, bless me, forgive me my sins. That was the prayer point he gave to us. Forgive me my sins, accept me into your covenant room, and make me a vessel unto honor. That was the prayer point he gave to us. But I changed it because I was tired. I said, Lord, tell this man to stand up. I'm tired. Right from the front there, he turned and looked at me. He said, Daniel, What are you saying in your heart? I was marveled. How did this man know what I was meditating? Say, sir. So I will say, God should make you stand. Say, no. If you change your prayer points, you lose the promise of God. Jesus Christ paid the price to bring salvation to you.
If you don't continue on your knees, you will lose the promise of God. And Jesus paid the price for your salvation. It looks like Jesus' salvation is not enough. It can't be enough. Because if Jesus truly saved you from your sins, that should suffice. You wouldn't need to go through this kind of torture. You wouldn't need to go to men like TB Joshua to abuse you in such a manner. And now he can see that this guy is in distress to the extent that he's praying to his God to rescue him from the floor. But TB Joshua says, no way. You're stopping on your knees. Or else you would lose on the blessings. Man, TB Joshua was an evil character.
And I'm paying the price to make you responsible. And you want to lose the grace? I prostrated. I said, Master, I'm sorry. Instantly, I changed my prayer point to God forgive me for being a rebellious child. That was all. After then, I went back home. For 3 days, I could not kneel down. I could not bend down because of blisters and sore on my knees. But because the prophet was used to it for years, his leg was like stone. The knee, if you tap it, you hear a sound as if you're knocking at the door. But after 2 years, I became used to it. Now, by the grace of God, I can go on my knees for hours without any pain. Can you see the price Prophet TB Joshua paid to bring someone like me up? As God will have it, I don't present.
Do you know what it must take for you to be on your knees and you to hurt so bad that you have to then pray to your God to rescue you from the clutches of your cult leader? Wiseman Harry is now praying to God to get TB Joshua to get off his knees.
I think 2010, we're all in the common, they call it common, dormitory, where all the men were living. All of a sudden, I had a call. The prophet said, I want to go to mountain with Racine, Christopher, and John Chi. I'll come back. Please take care of my mountain. Because then I was in a department called maintenance department. Because anytime the prophet is traveling, I don't know why he loves me so much. He always tells me, be at home, I'm coming back. And I was okay. Before I knew it, after 3 days, my 3 brothers came back. And they were introduced in the church as wise men. Wow! They could stretch hand, prophesy, deliver people, as the prophet does. I was made to be moved to become a servant under the 3 of them. How do I mean? I want to make sure I follow one person to assist because I was happy. Something was telling me, very soon, you will join these 3 people. We follow them for the first Sunday, second Sunday, third Sunday, to assist, to hold those they were praying for, delivering and healing. After 3 Sundays, I never knew the prophet was monitoring me to know if I was envious or jealous of the 3 people, Christopher, John Chi, and Racine. But I was not. I was happy because I never saw that it could be possible for somebody to command or anoint another person to do what he's doing. I only read it in the Bible, the time of Jesus Christ, the time of Elijah and Elisha. After 3 Sundays, he told me he would want to take me to the mountain to check the maintenance work we supervised. After taking me to some rooms, okay, this chair is not supposed to be here, take it there. This door is supposed to be positioned.
He got used to his torture by TB Joshua. He got used to his torture by TB Joshua. Guys, there's many more of these videos. And I will continue to showcase the tyrant called TB Joshua, the evil, devious cult leader. At some point, his followers will wake up and realize this man was nothing to write home about. And in everything that you do, think about his victims, the 116 people that lost their lives in his compound. They deserve justice. And this is dedicated to them. Any videos I do about TB Joshua is dedicated to his victims, dead or alive. I feel your pain. You were treated horrendously. I am not a Christian and I do not believe in God. And to think that if indeed there is a God that exists, you went to TB Joshua looking for God. You had a heart for God. And TB Joshua manipulated you. He took advantage of what you desired of God. He manipulated that. If that God truly exists, if that God truly existed when you were with TB Joshua, he would not have let TB Joshua do what he did to you guys. He would have rescued you all. But it's obvious that TB Joshua's God does not exist. And the sooner you'll realize this, the better. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening to me. And I will catch you in the next one. There's still sin in the world. Christians sin every single day. So, what did Jesus sacrifice himself for?